running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on
क्या कर
every
रहा
little
है?
thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No man. हंस रहा है बदतमीज.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
What?
I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say,
Okay.
happily ever up.
What the? Console disabled. What is this game, भाई? क्या है ये गेम? इतना confusing yet इतना brilliant. मैं दोस्तों को बताऊंगा भाई ये गेम खेलो. बेहतरीन गेम है. तो अब क्या करें?
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
मेरी डेस्क कहाँ है? मैं अपनी डेस्क ढूंढता हूँ. ये है मेरा रूम. और डिडी से 437. पता नहीं भाई.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
ओके आई थिंक हम यहाँ पे नहीं आए हैं. अच्छा फिर से आगे मीटिंग रूम.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
अब क्या करूँ?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
नहीं यार यहाँ पे फिर से कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगी वो चक्कर वाली. एक बार फिर से ऊपर जाके देखता हूँ. लेट्स सी क्या करवाता है अब ये, क्योंकि इसने ऑफ में भी दिक्कत थी, इसको ऑन में भी दिक्कत थी, तो क्या करवाएं इससे.
Here's the door, just go.
बहुत सही यार. ये लिफ्ट भी बंद करवा देना भाई. बार बार लिफ्ट का भी झंझट हटा.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
क्या मेरा मन नहीं है यहाँ जाने का.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay. मैं बस देख रहा हूँ यार फोरम रेडिट वगैरह पे कि भाई क्या करूँ, क्या करना है अब नेक्स्ट, कुछ न्यू
This
कंटेंट
mind
देना.
control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad.
Okay, buttons पहले press करके देखूँगा.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
ले भाई फिर से कर दिया ऑफ. What else do you want?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
फिर से
He had won.
Same.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yeah.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
क्या मतलब है इसे?
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
क्या करना है अब?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
जो सेम एंडिंग हो गई यार फिर से.
Was happy.
मैं रेडिट पे चेक करता हूँ. How to explore more of this game. बोल रहा है बार बार नए नए रूम्स चेक करो, बट कैसे करूँ? तो गड़बड़ है यार कुछ. अच्छा आई कैन, मैं ट्राई कर सकता हूँ डोर अनलॉक करना. देखो यहाँ पे कुछ कर सकता हूँ मैं या नहीं. नहीं, डोर नहीं खोल सकता.
Decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
बेइज्जती कर रहा है साला हमारी. ये नरेटर तो ईविल है। ओए सिस्टम बंद कर दिया मैंने इसका। इसका भी बंद कर दिया।
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
मैं सारे डोर खोलूंगा भाई, मेरे को डर नहीं है तेरा। कुछ और हाथ पैर नहीं मार सकते क्या?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
नहीं मैं नहीं जा रहा लेफ्ट में।
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
कुछ नहीं हो रहा है यार, ना कोई डोर खुल रहा। वो रास्ता तो है, देख मैं कैसे जाऊं?
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its
कुछ है क्या यहाँ पे?
charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
मतलब क्या है भाई यहाँ पे? फोटोज वैसे ही सेम है ना, ये कहीं और पे भी लगी थी शायद।
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that
यहीं
even
बैठा
though
रहूं क्या
all
मैं?
your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
मैं यहीं बैठूंगा, तू करता रहे।
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
I don't care man।
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
करता रहे तू बदतमीजी, मैं यहीं बैठूंगा अब। एक तो एक गेट दोबारा नहीं खुल रहा है।
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Yes, you are very right, Mr. Narrator. ये क्या पढ़ा है? Short history of the something. मैं वेट तो करूँगा यहाँ पे थोड़ी देर और। एक ट्रॉफी मिल गई, 2 लगे हाथों। जाऊँ क्या? नरेटर बोलना बंद हो गया। चल
But
यार।
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
लिफ्ट चल दी
I'm
मतलब।
not your enemy,
मैं
really.
फालतू में कूद गया था।
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.